Assalamu alaikum student. This is me Khadija Imam, your science teacher. Hope you all are good and staying safe at home. Today I have a new lecture for you from the unit number 5, that is the environment, and our today topic is the natural resources. So let's start our lecture. Our learning objectives are to know what is natural resources and different example of natural resources and the natural resources used by the human. So students, think about the plant, what they give us. Yes, you are thinking right. The plant gives us the oxygen, food, and the shadow. Now think about the soil, why it is important. Yes, you are also thinking right that the soil helps the plants to grow. Now think about the water. As we know that the water is very important for the survival of human as well as for the animal. So you are thinking right. So what are the natural resources? Natural resources are the resources which are naturally available in the environment and are not man-made. For example, air, water, wood, soil, sunlight, fuel such as coal, oil, and the natural gases. So students, the natural resources come from the raw material. So the question that arises in our mind is the what are the raw materials? Raw materials are the something found naturally in the environment. They usually come from the plants, animals, or the crust of the earth. For example, that the cotton comes from the plant and cotton is used to make the cloths. Whereas the timber comes from the trees and it is used to make the furniture and the other things. And the meat that comes from the animal that we eat and the honey that comes from the honeybee hives. So where do natural resources come from? The main source of the natural resources are from the earth's surface, the atmosphere, under the ocean and from under the ground. For example, the fossil fuels are the natural fuels are found deep in the earth underneath the ground. They form from the remains of plants and animals that lived millions of years ago. Example of fossil fuels include the coal, oil and the natural gases. So how are natural resources used? Some natural resources are vital for human survival. For example, humans need water to drink, food to eat that comes from the plant and the animals, and the air to breathe. Other natural resources are used to create the products which make our life easier and more comfortable. Some of these examples include, for example, the shoes. Shoes you wear come from the leather and the leather come from the animals. And the electronic gadgets that you use are made from the metal and the metal come from the earth. And the furniture that we use come from the trees. So why we need to conserve the natural resources? Because reducing our use of natural resources is the best way to protect them. For example, we can conserve the water by turning it off while brushing our teeth or by taking shorter showers. Recycling or the reusing the paper, glass and the some metal will also help to conserve the natural resources. So if we conserve these natural resources, so it will be available for the next generation. So what is the summary of this lecture is the natural resources are the resources which are naturally available, and these natural resources comes from the earth, atmosphere and the oceans. So now it's time for your home task. Do the activity of page number 21 of activity book. Thank you.